Blastoise!
What is going on, fellow Packbusters? It is Adam, and I'm here today to start a new video series. So on the Discord and one of the lives, I had kind of brought up the idea of talking about how Hydro Pump came to be, and how to start a Pokemon business. And I've been watching my mentors, Danny Phantumps' video about kind of throwing it out there from his perspective on starting it up and what you need to do, and in kind of going down the line on why you do each item, and starting it up, and is it really for you? Why do we do it? That kind of stuff. So I'm going to link his channel down below, and go watch his videos too. Let me know what you think of his stuff. But his insight is he's been doing it for about 5 years, where we've been doing it for about 5 months. So he has the longevity aspect of it, where we have the short term in what we've seen, and give the insight to, is it really worth doing right now? So today's video, I just wanted to start off with answering some of the questions that I've had about why we did it, and kind of put it out there to you as to think about, and give you some questions to think about, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Why am I doing this? Etc. And hopefully that gives everybody better insight as to what to do. So when Adam and I started back in the April-May timeframe, so how, the first question is why do you do it? Why are we going to do it? Is the first question that you need to ask yourself. So before I get into that question, I'm going to tell you why Hydro Pump did it. I'd gotten back from a trip about a month away, and Adam and I were talking the Golden Wartortle, and we started kind of middlemanning a lot of stuff for other people. And sometimes we were getting a thank you, sometimes we weren't. Sometimes we were getting, hey, can you do more of this? And it seemed like we were working for more people than we were getting any kind of credit for. If that was a break on stuff, or simple thank yous, because we really weren't doing it to make money. We weren't doing it for any kind of notoriety. But then we realized that, like, we knew a lot of people in Pokemon, and it started to expand a little bit into some other avenues here recently. And we're like, well, like, if we're doing a lot of this middlemaning, maybe we can just do this on our own. So that's what we did. We were like, hey, let's do this, right? We started the podcast together because we had extra time during COVID. The startup, he was working at home. My work schedule wasn't as crazy as it had been, not as many days away from home. And so we started it up. And so the why did we do it was, A, we were middlemaning a bunch, and we're like, hey, I think we can do this on our own. And two, like, we started to see the beginning trend of this scalper mentality, and people just taking advantage of others, and we didn't like that. So we wanted to do whatever we could to cater to content creators that were like us, that had families, had full-time jobs, didn't have a lot of dispensable income, and to try and get them product at the best price and try and ensure that it was there for them. So that's why we started. So the question that you need to kind of start with yourself is asking, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want to expand on the hobby? Am I doing this because I enjoy Pokemon a lot and I want to try and do something different? Am I just doing this to make money? Am I doing this to maybe cut down on channel costs if you are a content creator? Is just ask yourself why. And if you can't come up with a why besides I want to make money, I think the later videos as I get into this series will maybe detract you from doing this. So take that for what it is. Come up with a plan. What is your master plan behind this? You need to ask these questions before you dive in deep monetarily, because as I'll go into probably next video, the startup costs aren't cheap. So what is the plan? Is the plan just to sell Pokemon products? Is the plan to sell multiple TCGs? Is the plan just sealed Pokemon product? Is the plan sealed and singles? What is your plan? So Adam and I's plan was that we saw that the market took off exponentially on PSA cards, so we started, we got a subscription with PSA. We sent in a bunch. When I say a bunch, I mean about like close to 600 cards that we had personally. So we put those out there, and we're still waiting for most of them to come back. And that is what that was our what. What is our plan? So we started with PSA, and then we're like, hey, like Darkness Ablaze is coming out. Like, let's put a goal out there for Darkness Ablaze. Like, I think we can sell this many cases. All right, cool. So now we're selling PSA cards, and we're selling sealed product. Granted, we didn't have a distributor at the time, and so that was the next step. But so we wanted to sell sealed products, we wanted to sell PSA cards, and if you watch either one of our channels, we open a bunch of stuff. So we had tons and tons of cards laying around. So we were like, we need to sell singles. So it started off as singles, PSA cards, and sealed product. And when it came down to sealed product, it was, all right, now we need to, go through the next step. So what is your plan? Is the plan, to just sell Pokemon, sell other stuff, etc.? Like, ask yourself that question and write it down. The plan will change, but in the beginning, like, know what you are doing and put forth that plan and try and tackle it, right? Next question, who is your target? Who are you targeting for this? A lot of business owners and card shops are like, I'm going to target just anybody who wants to buy it. But anybody that wants to buy it right now is a huge market, right? So you've got people that can only purchase stuff at a cheaper level, and then you have people that have more dispensable income that they know what to do with, as we've seen in some of these $200,000, $300,000 boxes being sold, real or not. But who is your target? So are you targeting the everyday collector, or are you targeting the higher end collector, or are you trying to find that like middle ground? So there are a lot of people out there that Adam and I, our target was the lower population of the Pokemon in terms of sealed product, was the lower echelon, right? Those people that don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend all the time on Pokemon. It was maybe they can only afford one booster box, but how do we make that booster box affordable to them, right? It comes to the PSA cards, you kind of get into that middle to upper echelon of people. So we did kind of cater to that, but we knew that that was where the most return on investment was. And so you need to have that. And then the singles target the more on the playable stuff. So the collectors, we weren't selling high-end singles. Most of those higher-end singles were going to PSA to be sold that way. But some of the casual collector we catered to, but we catered to the playable community in that we were pulling cards that were highly playable, selling them to card shops or opening up TCG players. So that was who our target was. We had a broad spectrum of people that we talked to and that we're friends with and that we work with. And we said, okay, this is where our target is. I don't think we're stretching ourselves too thin. PSA cards come back. Like, we staggered them to ensure that once we started getting them back, we had them to put up on eBay and let eBay do its thing. TCG player is an awesome thing when it comes to putting up just singles because it kind of works itself. And then we really hit the marketing side on the sealed product. But we didn't really have to because we knew enough small-time YouTubers that were in private chats, and eventually when we started the Discord, came into the Discord and they're like, we need help getting product. So that was the sealed product target. Have the target, because you may have the plan on what you want to sell, but if you don't have your target audience, it's not going to work, because just saying you're going to sell to everybody may not work, because you may fall short. You need to kind of build up that brand instead of just being like, I'm selling this, and everyone's like, well, is this legit or not? So like, have that target audience, kind of build that rapport around people before you really jump into it. The next thing, what are you selling? It kind of falls into the target, or what is the plan? What are you selling? And what is the volume? What is your target volume? So we're going to take Hydro Pump, for example, and we're starting to branch a little bit more now since May. But when we started, like, the volume was low. We have a bunch of these singles because we've opened tons of packs over the last almost year by the time we started. And so we had the singles to send to PSA, so we knew what the volume there was going to be. It was cards that were, the goal was to send in cards that came back as 9 or 10s within that like $75+ range, and go from there, because it made the subscription and it made the submission prices worthwhile at that point. That's kind of where we capped it, or at least what the goal was. Outside of Hidden Fate Shiny Vault stuff, we just sent it all in because whatever happened with those happened with those. And it also, 8s and 9s and stuff like that were, great for giveaways. So, stay tuned to see PSA cards given away on our channel during live streams. And then when it came to sealed product, the volume was, what can we afford out of pocket? And we kind of came up with this number, especially when it came to Darkness Ablaze, of what can we afford to buy, and if we can't sell it, at least hold on to until we can. So initially that was 10 cases. And we did really well in the beginning, and that 10 became 20 before release date, and luckily we were able to get 20 cases. But like, we had that target, like, what isn't going to hurt us? Because there are so many places and there are so many new people that are starting this up, that like, how do you bust into this even though you know people that do this? So that was the next thing. Lastly, I'm going to try and keep these videos to 15 minutes, but longevity. Like, what is your long-term plan? Go into this knowing how long you want to do this for. And Adam and I mean, it's going to sound dumb, but we're in this for the long haul. Pokemon's not going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe this COVID group of people that are getting into this because they're trying to make a quick buck are gonna die out at one point. Like, we'll still be here. People are still gonna want to make YouTube content. Like, we can always cater to the YouTube content creators or casual collectors that don't have tons of dispensable income, and those are the people that we want to target. So as long as like we can get there, right, then we will always cater to them. And maybe Pokemon dies out and then that's when we die out. I don't know. But like, this is a really awesome hobby for both of us. If you watch our opening videos, like everything we do is with our family outside of maybe Magic the Gathering and sports openings, right? So like, we have this idea that we're going to go for the long haul, and you need to ask yourself, like, how long do you want to do it for? Because when I get into these next videos, like, you're going to see there's a lot of work that goes into the startup. So ask yourself that question: how long am I in for it? So I just wanted to talk about, how do you start, right? Like, where do you need to start? It doesn't start with product. It doesn't start with having a bunch of cards. It doesn't start with creating your business itself. Like, you ask yourself these questions, and if you don't have good answers for them, or you don't have an answer for them, maybe right now isn't the time to start. Because as you will see in the following videos, that there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of grind that goes into this. So if you can't answer these 5 questions, step back and be like, all right, let's see if I can answer these. And if I can't, like, let's hit the pause button for a second and go from there. But thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. There will be more of these to come. Next episode, talk about getting your business license, getting your state's resale license, and then setting up for your distributor, and kind of what goes into that and the behind the scenes of that a little bit, to the extent that I will go. But and then we'll just keep building on it and expanding upon it from there, and hopefully everybody enjoys that. But I wanted to try and keep these to about 15 minutes, so I'm going to end it there. Please, if there are things that you want to see or more that you want to know, ask in the comments down below. Also, go visit Danny's videos. He's got a bunch of insight too. But until next time, everybody, happy pack busting.